Time for the evening rush and new at 6. APD has arrested a man for his role in a downtown brawl caught on video. Police say that video shows 43-year-old Jewett Jabbar Oliver repeatedly beating another man. Then he's seen grabbing a woman against her will and dragging her by her hair before hitting her in the head. The video appears to have been taken in a parking lot at 3rd and Central. That brawl is under investigation.
City Council looking into what the biopark would have to charge to become self-sufficient. The park costs $18 million a year to run, relying on tax dollars to make it happen. In a study, the city found ticket prices would have to increase from $10 a head to $25. But Cultural Services says any dramatic price hike could scare people away, causing them to make even less money.
New plans are in the works for state land leased by Jeffrey Epstein. That state trust land was part of Epstein's 10,000-acre New Mexico compound south of Santa Fe. New Mexico's land commissioner, Stephanie Garcia Richard, ripped up the contract for that land today. Now the state land office hopes to turn it over to a local rancher.
Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputies are on patrol in 2 Albuquerque neighborhoods. People in the Nob Hill and Highland districts say they're constantly dealing with things like property crime, loitering, and drug use. BCSO sent 30 deputies to the area, making stops for things like jaywalking, traffic violations, and loitering.
We're learning the president's plans to divert millions of military dollars for the border wall will affect New Mexico military projects. The Defense Department approved the transfer of $3.6 billion in military funds to be used for the border wall. The senators say $125 million were meant for New Mexico military projects, one at Holloman Air Force Base, another at White Sands Missile Range.
Hurricane Dorian is barreling toward the Carolinas as a Category 2 after hitting Florida with rain and winds. Right now, Dorian's center is still at about 80 to 90 miles offshore, but the rain bands and the wind from the storm extend all the way to the coast. As Dorian nears the Carolinas, winds are expected to pick up with a possible direct hit.
Well, the weather headlines for tomorrow are similar to today. We will eventually see some changes, though. First of all, very little storm action here in the Albuquerque metro area. If you want some storms, the northern mountains will be the best area to see that. But even those storms are likely to be more isolated than anything else. And we will be warm and dry the rest of the work week. But it does look like we'll start to pull up more moisture from the south over the weekend and into next week. The chance of showers will go up.
Kroger, the parent company of Smith's, is asking people not to open carry in their stores. The Department of Public Safety says while New Mexico businesses can ask its customers not to openly carry guns, they can't prohibit it. This is because New Mexico is an open carry state.
The Sheriff's Association is against red flag gun laws. The legislation would let law enforcement obtain a court order to take guns from people considered dangerous. San Juan County Sheriff Shane Ferrari sent an email to the governor on behalf of the New Mexico Sheriff's Association. They argue that people should be entitled to a hearing before having their guns taken.
A driver is in trouble for slamming through the gate of State Police headquarters. Police say the man in the surveillance video released today is Gilbert Doradas Lahera. After smashing through a gate, he's accused of ramming the doors of Metro Court.
Overdose deaths in New Mexico are on the rise. The data from the Department of Health shows overall drug overdose deaths among New Mexico residents rose from 491 in 2017 to 537 last year. Now, they say methamphetamine overdose deaths are driving this increase, and they say there is a decreasing trend in opioid-related deaths.
There are major plans in the works for the Borellis neighborhood. The Borellis Community Coalition spearheading Main Street updates, including the 4th and Cole Gateway, the Stover Avenue Church Plaza, and the Rupee Alley intervention. Councilor Isaac Benton has been working with Borellis on many of the ideas.
The Metro Threat Index for tomorrow is a 1 with mainly clear skies and no real shot at showers or storms. We're looking at mainly those warm temperatures and a dry afternoon on the way.
A UNM psychiatry professor is back on campus this week after a problem with his visa. Back in June, Dr. Haman Yahya visited his home in Palestine on paternity leave. He applied for a return to work visa, but instead of days, it took weeks. UNM filed a lawsuit for the delay, but the case was dismissed last week after his visa was finally granted.
A local volunteer is being honored for his work beautifying trails. The volunteer awarded was given to Sam Beard. Beard has volunteered by clearing trails for open space for more than 20 years.
A food pantry is helping UNM students. That pantry at the Advisement and Enrichment Center is an expansion of the mobile Lobo food pantry that operates out of UNM's South Lot. Anyone with a student ID can use the pantry, which will include food, personal care products, diapers, and baby formula.
The State Fair begins tomorrow, and you can catch a lot of new events and features. Right now, you can download the new State Fair app to navigate the fair's events and food. Beginning on Friday, you will be able to check out the Nintendo Switch road trip, and on Sunday, there will be a New Mexico United watch party. Find the lineup at alwaysonkRQE.com.